Hi! Oh my gosh. It's late. Welcome back to another Blue Twin Flame podcast vlog, whatever you want to call it, okay? It's gonna be an interesting episode today, okay? So let's get into it. I was going for like sunset vibes. No one is like midnight. So like I should have went darker. But okay, as normal, we're going to start today's episode off with my Blue Twin Flame theory before I get my special guest on, okay? So here he is. The journey to finding the Blue Twin Flame isn't about finding someone else. It's about becoming consciously aware of both your masculine and feminine energies, creating this alignment that leads to synchronicities and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. And it's this heightened awareness that acts as the core of what makes a Blue Twin Flame connection special. All right? So, today's episode, if you have not watched last week's episode, go watch last week's, or go watch them all. You know, I'm not telling you which ones not to watch. Go watch them all. But today's episode is twin flame versus family. Okay? So how does this all tie into your family? So, without further ado, let's turn this down. All right. All right. I think we're all ready. All right. So, welcome everyone. Like I said earlier, or a few seconds ago, today's episode is the Blue Twin Flame versus family. Okay, so how does this all tie into your family? All right. So if you remember from the previous episode, which was karmics and soulmates. Soulmates are, go watch that episode. Karmics are, go watch that episode. But just a brief reminder, soulmates are who you interact with, what resonates with you. You know, like, decide you'll rather be happy than right. Oh. All right, we're going to tie that in later. But anyway, that's so funny. Okay, so when it comes to a soulmate, it's who we're sharing this soul with. You know, like we all have, we're all living here. Okay, so the people who you interact with, those are your soulmates because you interact with them. There's so many people in this world that you don't interact with. Those are not your soulmates because you don't interact with them. You know, how can it be a soulmate? You don't interact with them. But the people you do interact with, those are your soulmates. Those soulmates that are here to teach you lessons, because not everyone's here to teach you a lesson. And I'm not saying like it's their job to teach you a lesson, but not everyone that you interact with, you get a lesson from. So instead of saying teach you a lesson, you get a lesson from. Some people are here for you to get a lesson from them. The universe uses them to teach you a lesson. The universe, God, Most High, E, all the above. You can fill A through D with whatever you want. So with that being said, let's just give this opportunity, give this right now, we're going to give thanks to E, all the above. You can fill A through D with whatever you want, whether it's a soulmate, whether it's a karmic, whether it's a family member. So let's just give thanks. And while we're giving thanks, we're just going to take a breath. All day long, we breathe unconsciously for ourselves. But let's just take this moment to breathe for someone else, whether they're here, whether they're no longer here, whether they're right upstairs. Right upstairs. So yeah, let's just take a breath. So right now, we're gonna inhale and exhale. Up with it, down with it, don't play around with it. Skip those that don't do it. We breathe because we're used to it. Now breathe. All right. Now back to what I was saying. So there's people here that are here for you to learn a lesson from. Okay. And then there's family. Now, family can be broken into, your biological family or your chosen family. So we can talk about both actually. So when it comes to, so your biological family or your chosen family can be karmic because you can learn lessons from them. They can be soulmates because, well, they are soulmates because you're sharing a bond with them, Now, I still would consider, yeah, definitely, like, even if you don't know your parents, they're still soulmates of yours because those souls have to come together to bring you here. So you're literally sharing a soul with them, You are an extension of them. You're their soul extension. It's just one long, like, soul extension, So, but family hits different compared to soulmates who aren't family, because your family helps ground you. Okay, both chosen family and biological family, they can help ground you. Now, of course, some family members you have to learn lessons from. Sometimes you are the lesson that you're teaching that family member. It's not always it's life is a two-way street, so, like, sometimes you're here to benefit them and sometimes they're here to benefit you. 9 times out of 10, you're here benefiting each other, at least when you get to a point where you can realize that. I know a lot of family now, a lot of we're placing a lot of focus on family, but according to this theory, because again, this blue twin flame theory is the fact that you're connecting with these non-physical energies. The universe is just using your family for you. It's not using your family, but that connection is there because that's what the universe is using for you to have a connection to. Like, you wouldn't have a connection to family if you weren't supposed to. Everything happens for a reason. Okay. So, when it comes to your family, whether biological or chosen, so much emphasis is placed on the family itself. For example, like, honor your mother, honor your father. Now, of course, you should do those things, but you should honor everyone. You should honor yourself. Like, I feel like a lot of times people place importance over their family over themselves, which I'm not saying is necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, like, without you, you want to be here to love your family. You want to be here to support your family, So, like, place yourself first. When you're going down in the airplane, what they say, put the mask over yourself first before you assist the next person. Okay, well, just because life isn't a plane, life isn't plain. But help yourself first and then help your family. You can't help them unless you help yourself, unless you're just sacrificing, and then, like, you can be the sacrifice if you want to, but wouldn't it be more beneficial if you help yourself first and then help other people? But and when you're able to help yourself, that's when you can truly help other people, because you have to help yourself first. When you can help yourself, you know what help you can give to the next person because you've helped yourself. Help yourself. That's what families say all the time. Help yourself. I'm not going to serve you. Help yourself. Well, take that advice. Help yourself first, and then you can help the next family member because you know what you can help with because you've already helped yourself. If my family came to me and asked me, you know, what can we do to help ourselves? I can tell them because I helped myself first. You know, just as an example. But like again, family is still important, especially when it comes to spiritually understanding. Because and when I say family, I'm including friends and family, but like I'm more so meaning like like who you consider family. You know, like you can have some friends who are just friends. But if you consider your friends family, then I'm talking about that too. But when it comes to family, um, this importance is placed on family, which is still important. Oh, where was I at? Which is still important. But just make sure you're helping yourself first in the process. Um, and so much importance is placed on the family aspect. Oh, the fact that like, man, where was I at? Hold on, let's see. I know it's not here. Darn. Lost my train of thought. Um, oh, it helps ground you, bring you back. Okay, sorry. Yes, thanks, family, for bringing me back. Yes, and then you got your spiritual family. Family is it's so great. You have ancestors. All this is your family. But anywho, um, family is important because they knew you before you had this realization. Now, family can be a distraction as well. That's another thing about family. Family is a distraction, but sometimes it's a distraction that you need because it helps ground you. Where sometimes you don't know where you're going next, what you're going to do next, and you can use your family to ground you. Sometimes your family is there to help you. You know, I've been in hella situations where I didn't know what I was going to do, but there was a family member there to help me out. But it got to a point also where it's like I'll give you an example. I was facing homelessness, and I was not facing homelessness, but like I was in a situation where this didn't go through as I thought or I planned it wasn't going to go through, and eviction was coming, you know. And out of nowhere, my family, shout out to my aunts, you know, and my grandma, but they helped me out of the situation. Okay, but like the help came at the craziest time, or at least the time where I needed it the most. And it's like, how did y'all like what? You know, like it's just ironic. But again, it was synchronistic. It was like the help came exactly where it needed to. And again, this is what the Blue Twin Flame focuses on. It's the fact that you're getting in contact with these non-physical aspects. Now, again, I am blessed, okay, and appreciative for the family that I have, because I understand that not everyone has that family. Um, but and I appreciate the opportunities. Okay, so like again, when you're giving thanks to E, all the above, you can feel A through D, whatever you want. Family for sure, ancestors for sure, spiritual team for sure, like all that, friends, all. Thank you all. Thank you for watching. You know, thank you everyone who I'm friends with. Thank you. Um, but like when you're thinking of oneness, like we're all one. You know, like we, and that's why I want to say like the place emphasis on family is because like sometimes or a lot of times, you know, we place importance on a family member and we're failing to remember or realize that we're all reflections of the same source. You know, we're all oneness. So that's why, like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't place importance on family, but family is just another tool that the universe uses to get a point to us, to get a lesson learned, to get us to the point that we need to be. Now, like, I could not have taken my family's help and I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But at the same time, there were things that happened that I needed to be here. And that's why the things that didn't go through, that's why I ended up here. It's not the fact that this family member knew what I was going through precisely. I mean, they knew because that's why they helped. But, like, just the timing of it all, everything happens for a reason. This whole life that we lived, someone's writing the script. Okay, all the above. God writing the script. Most High writing this. Look, Gaia, Mother Nature, all writing the script. Like, it's powers outside of us, outside of me. Okay. And again, that's what this Blue Twin Flame journey is about. It's about being connected to these energies that are outside of us. But in knowing it's outside of us, you know that it's still a part of us. We're just extensions of the same thing, of the same family. So family can also be a distraction, but sometimes it's a needed distraction. Like, I know sometimes distractions have a negative connotation to it, where people think that, oh, distractions are bad. Sometimes they can be bad, but bad and good is the labels that you place on something. It doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be good. It just is. Family is just, it is. But the fact that family, what makes family different from a regular soulmate is the fact that this is a person who you do not choose to be in your life, per se. I mean, like, consciously we didn't choose. We didn't say, I want you to be my mom. Depending on who you ask. Some people say, yawn for confirmation. Some people say that you could choose, like, before we come here, we choose our family. I'm not confirming or denying that. But as far as, until you remember that, as far as consciously known right now, your parents came first. But they're still here for a reason. So that's why we're all karmics for each other, But you learn lessons, going back to karmics, from those family members. But the family members are not chosen, meaning if you don't want to talk to this friend anymore, you don't have to. But it's a little harder to get rid of family members. And I say get rid of them, but, like, they're there from the jump. Your cousins are your cousins, your grandma and grandpa is your grandma and grandpa, and, like, sometimes you need that knowledge to ground you, to have that support. I don't have to worry about, can I trust this person? Do I know this person? Does this person know me? Because your family's been knowing you all your life, so, like, it's like it's a trust thing. But at the same time, when you get to a certain point, you realize that, like, the world's not out to get you. Like, you still learn a lot of stuff from your family that you don't need in life. But you needed to learn that at that time to get you to the point of realizing that you don't need it. Does that make sense? Comment down below if you get that, So, like, it's family. That's why family is such a touchy situation, because you can be more mentally developed than certain family members are, but then you still have to love them. And then, like, but that's everyone's family at a certain point. Everyone can be, but everyone's not blood family. But then, doesn't matter. We're all coming from the same source. With this theory in mind, we're all part of the same family. We're all part of the same soul family. That's why they make them soulmates. Like, if we weren't in the same soul family, I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't be sharing this information with you. You wouldn't be here to receive this information if we weren't in the same soul family. Yawn for confirmation. So, like, when it comes to your biological family, um, that's what makes them special. Is the fact that most of the time, because of that blood connection, you have a certain level of trust with them. Trust that when you're with your parents, when you're young, you don't worry about where am I going to live at, because you should have that trust. You know, like there's certain things you shouldn't have to worry about, and I say shouldn't have to because that doesn't mean you don't. Some people do worry about that. You know, not everyone's perfect, but not everyone's life is the same. But we're all living life. So like the situation that you're in for a specific reason. So instead of questioning why am I in this situation, what can I get from the situation? What is this situation trying to show me? What is this person trying to show me? What can I bring to the situation? What can I bring to the situation? What am I, like what can I get out of it? Like, and that goes again with what I was saying earlier about putting yourself first. Like what can I bring to this? And that's what am I getting from this? What am I? And there's all these I's. Again, I. Oneness, the great I am. But then we have chosen family. Some people don't like their family. Some people don't get along with their family. Sometimes family members aren't learning the lessons that they're supposed to. So that slows down or fiddles with other family members who aren't learning that. So sometimes you just need to get away. You don't need to be in that situation anymore. Sometimes it's more toxic to stay than it is to go. And that's where family can be a distraction because it's holding you in stagnant energy that you don't need to be in. Ooh, drop for confirmation. So that's when you have chosen family, where you go out and you find family. And okay, you go out and find family. But this is a main reason why family is focused on what it doesn't need to be. It's because it's the energy that should be focused on. Okay, for those of us that do not have our mom and dads in our lives, who never had our mom and dads in our lives, you still grew up with a masculine or feminine energy that showed you that same energy as a mom would have. That shows you the same energy that a father would have. You have mentors. You have, grandparents. But you still have that same maternal and paternal energy. And sometimes that energy is just life in general. There's people that grow up on the streets. They don't have a physical person, but life still watches over them physically because it's all energy. Your mom is just a physical vessel that helps you identify who that maternal or feminine energy. Your parents, okay, prime example of this. We place focus on mom and dad. Honor your father, honor your mother, which you still should honor. You should honor everyone. But at the same time, keep in mind that it's the energy that you should be honoring. So like think of a mom and dad. Most of the time you put dads at the top of the family, the head of the family. So when the dad has an idea, that's masculine energy, right? Again, I've been saying this. Masculine energy is your thought. Feminine energy when you execute that thought. So dad comes up with the idea, mom enforces the idea. Mom is the feminine energy, dad is the masculine energy. But you can take out mom and dad and put in president and vice president. Vice president comes with the ideas. I mean, it's a together thing, like parents. Vice president executes that. For those of us that's in the Greek world, we got the dean and the AD, assistant dean. Same concept as mom and dad, masculine, feminine energy. So that's why it's the energies that we should be focused on and not the physical vessels. But the physical vessels helps us understand, understand. And what we're standing on is the fact that it's these energies that we should be relating to. That doesn't mean your mom isn't important. It doesn't mean your dad isn't important. But we should still place focus on the energy. So going back to what I was saying as far as the your chosen family. They're your chosen family because you're choosing to identify these energies with them. When you have a friend who's close to you like a brother, brother is family, but you're relating to this energy to this friend that's like a brother, like a sister, like a cousin. It's the energies that you're relating to. And what makes chosen family so great is because you chose them, because you don't have to be around them. Sometimes people feel forced to be with their biological family because you didn't choose them. But you don't have to be around them. But some situations you do feel like you can't get away from them. Certain situations you feel stuck by being with them. But then when you have friends, you choose to be with those friends, and you don't have to be with those friends. So that's what makes chosen family so special, because, birth for confirmation. That's what makes chosen family so special, is because you get to choose to be with them. But again, it's energy. I've had many aunts in my life who, not many aunts, like I've had friends that I called my aunts because the energy associated with them reminded me of my aunts. I see my aunts as strong, beautiful black women. And I've had friends that I see as strong, beautiful black women. And they support me. And that's my aunt. They may not be my biological aunt, but at the same time, aunt is an energy. And I feel like my aunts are embodying those friends to help get me to where I need to be, to give me the support that I need. Oh man, I'm almost tearing up because I love my aunt so much. And same with uncles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've had more aunts than uncles, but same with uncles. Uncle, two of you watching, love you. But like, I love all my uncles. But at the same time, like, it's an energy, you know? So like, I've had male friends who, I've never had a male friend I called him my uncle, but not like aunts. But I've had male friends that called my aunts, like, and that's an energy thing, you know. Like, man, Auntie Rico. Like, I've had male friends who I've called my aunts too, because it's an energy thing. You're not getting caught up on the physical vessel. It's the energy, you know, and that's why chosen family is so special. Okay. Family, you also have your ancestors, you know, all of the family that came before you. Like, for me to be here, yeah, you have to have your mom and dad. Yeah, you have to have your grandparents. But like, what about 100 years ago, 200 years ago? Like, think about all the family that had to come before that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're not soulmates, but they're, well, no, because I mean, you're sharing, it's the same soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, 10 generations ago, family members that I don't know personally had to have had sex to get me here, for me to get here, for you to get here. You have ancestors, people that came before you. Those are still family, but it's still energy. Those same ancestors are still helping you today. They're helping you get to this point of logic or point of getting you to where you need to go. Ancestors important. Um, your spirit family, spiritual team. Those are ancestors too, but like not all of your spiritual team are your ancestors. Spiritual team is just non-physical. So like that's where you have other alien races or um like like unicorns, spirit animals. Those are part of your spiritual team. Like your universe, your energetic field is what you see. It's not just your physical body, mind, body, soul. Your body is not just your physical body. It's your universe. Your universe is your body. Okay? And the people or things that make up your universe that you resonate with is a part of your spiritual team because it's always there. For example, the octopus. It's my spirit animal. I relate to it. That thing loves me. You know what I'm saying? Cephalopods, you know, like I know that I am guided by the octopus. It's one of my spiritual animals, but I see it everywhere. It gives me confirmation. It gives me joy. It makes me know that something is keeping an eye on me, and I've had videos that talked about, me finding octopus this, octopus that. I have octopus tattoos. But the octopus is a part of my spiritual team that's not an ancestor. Okay. Um, Phi Beta Sigma, I have brothers that are part of my energetic field. They're not biological brothers, but at the same time, those are my brothers. We're constitutionally bounded to our sisters, Zeta Phi Beta. But that is an energy. Sigma is an energy. Zeta is an energy. It's the feeling that you get, that the emotion that evoked from you this brotherhood. But it's not just the brotherhood, it's what you go through. Like siblings, you go through rituals. That's what makes siblings so special, because you guys both went through a ritual of being raised by your parents. My sister, who I love dearly, I love both my sisters and my brothers, but my older sister, I love her dearly because we've gone through things together. We've fought together. We've loved together. We went to the same schools. We eat together. You know what I'm saying? We've done so much together. And then like that ritual of what we went through together is what makes our connection special. But brothers and sisters doesn't just stop at um biological brothers or sisters, because your closest friends can be your brothers and sisters. Your fraternity sorority can be your brothers and sisters. It's an energy thing. But again, we get so caught up on the physical aspect of life that we fail to realize that there's a non-physical aspect, that it's an energy. And that's what we should be focused on, is the energy of it all. Okay? And that's what this theory, or this blue twin flame, is all about. It's the fact of placing more focus on the energy of things. And that's what this episode is about, family. Okay? So we're talking about biological family, chosen family, um, spiritual family, ancestors. Those are like the main families. Okay? I think I'm gonna end it there because I'm gonna keep yawning. It's late. I get the makeup off. I gotta go to sleep. Okay. Time for the sun to set. Get it? Sun to set. My eyes look like a sun. You know. Is there anything else I want to add to family? No, I think I covered. I covered enough. Honestly, I feel good about this episode. I really do. I don't know what time it is though. But And now it's time for so long. But I'll sing just one more song. Thanks for doing your part. You sure are smart. You know, with me and you and my boy BluE. And we can do anything that we want to do. I love you. I love me. I love us. And I love we. And I will talk to you guys another day. I love you so much. You are my family, and I am yours. Okay? Just know that at the end of the day, we are all family. Okay? And if anyone loves you, I love you. If anyone supports you, I support you. And it may not be the support that you may think you need, but the universe supports you as well. The universe has your back. And it will give you the support that you need as long as you believe in it. Okay? All right. I love you guys.